You're watching the Knights Roundtable, presented by Orlando Health, the official medical team of the UCF Knights. Choose Orlando Health for excellence in healthcare, with award-winning hospitals, clinics, and nearly 3,000 community physicians throughout Central Florida. Welcome, Knight fans. UCF opens up with an impressive win in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. I want to start because you commented before than even after the effort by everybody involved just to get to the moment to play a game. It was like the reward was to go out and play. And really kind of capped off an incredible stretch of months just to get to last Saturday.
Yeah, 5.5, 6 months of complete uncertainty. Our players are sent home the second week of March. When are we going to be able to get back? When we get back, what does it look like every single day? How am I going to lift? How am I going to run? How do I enter the building? How do I interact with my teammates? We start off-season conditioning, right? Training camp's completely different. And the uncertainty of knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. Are you actually going to get an opportunity to go play the game? Other conferences at that time, right, had dismantled and weren't going to play football. What was our schedule going to look like? All the obstacles and uncertainty that you face for a football team to continue to come together, be tighter than they were when we left in March, and get the opportunity to go play football. A lot of fun for everybody inside of our program. And our kids took advantage of it and enjoyed the day.
I want to start with defense because turnovers, because when you look at this football game, that is so big. One of the things that this program's run has been about is forcing turnovers and then capitalizing on it. And in this game, these are earned turnovers. It's pressure. It's guys' hands up and things like that. It's stripping the football, all the things you're coaching.
Absolutely. Our defense starts off every day with the turnover circuit. In the middle of practice, they're working how to use their hands as a weapon. And deflect footballs. It's the attitude and mentality that I'm going to play harder than my opponent for 60 minutes. And you look at the way we hit the quarterback during the course of the football game. Clean shots, how physical we were in our front seven. All of that wears on your opponent. And the turnovers that happened in the fourth quarter were critical in changing the way the game's played. I thought our defense was resilient, though, the entire day. Opening kickoff goes back to plus side territory, give up one play on a QB draw, they score a touchdown, they come back and they play the next series, the next play, like it's the opening kickoff. And that mentality and attitude is something that was critical for us as we went on the road. And really proud of the way our guys handled it and played red zone defense and got those turnovers.
We talked about versatility and your offensive front. You had to move some parts around. You had first-time starters. We talked about Sam Jackson. Can he play guard and tackle? Those things also a big role for the offense.
Huge. When you're coming back, your kids aren't in the same type of shape that they typically are when we start training camp. Working them into getting into shape. The versatility of our 5 guys up front, and really 6, 7 guys. Sam Jackson playing almost every position on the offensive line. Being able to rotate those guys, keep them fresh, allows us to play with great effort during the course of the ball game. And I talked about on the defense side of the ball, it's just as important. It's the number one thing we talk about inside of our program, attack, which means play harder than your opponent. And our guys did that up front.
Something else unique. Knight fans have watched Otis Anderson and how much he can do on offense. But there's a key series in the football game that he picks up a blitz that allows for a deep ball downfield to lead to a 40-yard gain. Then the reward is 3 straight carries, including a touchdown. But picking up the blitz helps shorten the field to set him up for the runs.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to sacrifice yourself in the moment to get what you want on the flip side. Otis, Greg's injury during the course of the ball game forced Otis into playing more strictly just running back than moving him out in the slot like we have in the past. I thought he handled it really well. 18 carries, did a phenomenal job with the ball in his hands. Found a way to be +1, +2 at the end of almost all of his carries. Had some explosive plays and did a great job in the pass game and protection as well.
Talking about hands, Marlon Williams may have the softest hands in college football, but what is it that he does well? Obviously, he's got to be in sync with Dylan, but what is it about Marlon? We watched the carryover of last year to a game like Saturday to make catches in traffic like that.
Yeah, soft hands. You don't hear the ball hit his hands. Strong hands. He plays strong to the catch, as strong as anybody I've been around, and knows how to use his body, and just did a phenomenal job of playing the game. And when the ball and the opportunity came to him, went up and made a play. Huge plays in the red zone, a couple critical third downs. Did a great job.
Today, tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
I want to talk about the game now as Georgia Tech takes that opening kickoff 75 yards, grabs a 7-0 lead, a calm sideline. You guys come out and answer. What did you like about the start offensively for your football team that got to a 28-7 lead?
I think the biggest thing is a defensive structure that they had not put on tape, that our kids adjusted to during the course of that drive immediately. And then when we got time as a staff to communicate, kind of tweak our game plan and make sure that we were putting our kids in the right position, communicate. Our kids took that from the sideline, functioned and operated on the field extremely well. I think that's the biggest thing I take away from that.
It's 28-14 game of the half. It was an interesting, odd third quarter in the sense of almost boom with turnovers and odd plays. And they made it a 28-21 football game. They only scored in the fourth. The sign of a mature, calm football team may have been what happened then, because both offense and defense now just made plays to spread things out in the fourth. What'd you do well?
Yeah, the beginning of the third quarter, the first 5 minutes seemed like it took an hour and 15 minutes of actual time. Flipped back and forth on the turnovers, opportunities lost by us offensively, some things that we didn't function and operate the right way. I think the biggest thing is just what you said, a belief, between two different units, offense and defense, that, hey, they're going to go get another stop. We're going to get another opportunity. Defense believing that at some point we're going to get going again offensively and go punch the ball in. Our kids did that. Never blinked. Continued to just have a next round mentality. And proud of the way our kids functioned that way on Saturday.
What makes a coach in the opening game on his first possession on fourth down say, we're going to go on my side of the field?
It happened fast, right? Probably couldn't even get it out of your mouth yet. A belief just in the situation where we're at that our kids are going to go pick it up, the tempo that we use to be a weapon for us, and feel like it's going to put us in that aggressive mentality. It's the way we play in all three phases of the game. We want to be the aggressor. We want to dictate the tempo. And I think that's a sense of confidence in who we are, and our players believe in it as well.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
I want to ask you about some of the new guys that played, and yet the role that the veterans on their positions also played. Josh Heupel certainly had a big first football game. He's also impacted by the performance of Randy Charlton, the Stephon Zayas maturity there, even in your secondary. Even though he's not playing, Bam Moore, kind of that other coach in the sideline, and then learning from guys like Rich and Antoine, how that helps those young players and the offensive line as well when they now get a chance to get out there and play.
Great leadership in our position groups that recognize that there's young guys that we need to play at a high level for us to go have a chance to do the things that we want to do week in and week out. Those older guys investing in them, not just on game day, but if you come and watch practice, young guys are constantly getting coached up by our veteran guys. The expectations, the standard that's been set in those meeting rooms, the expectation of how we're going to play and what it takes to get there. Really proud of a lot of those veteran guys, and the young guys taking it and learning and accelerating their curve to be ready to go play at a high level.
This week, a little bit of a role reversal. You're the team that's played a game. East Carolina's not played a game. They got to watch you, but yet you've got a game under your belt. We've seen ECU now last couple of years, a new coach, another year under their belt, a veteran quarterback. What are the challenges this week?
You look at them the second half of last season, put up a ton of points offensively. Veteran quarterback back, explosive, dynamic playmakers at the skill positions. Defensively, brand new coordinator. What are we going to see on that side of the football? Our kids being able to see it, recognize, and adjust during the course of the game will be critical again this week. For us going on the road, we talked about turnovers got to be in the right direction for us from a year ago. We got to be better in the red zone and play smart football, limit the penalties. For the most part, we did that last week. there's things that we can certainly improve upon that, and me too this Saturday.
Protocols are unique all over the place. This will be unique. They'll allow, I think, just a family up to 350 people. We talked about if you're juiceless, you're useless, but your football team's got to create the atmosphere because it's going to be unique.
It is. Create energy, sustain it. You don't have it, find it. Got to be a cheerleader in some ways for the other side of your football team when they're on the field. I thought our sidelines were fantastic this past Saturday. I thought we played extremely hard and played with energy and passion. We're going to need to do that in an empty stadium, essentially, this Saturday. It will be different for our players. They got to be prepared mentally to handle that and go play our style of football.
Thank you, Coach. You're watching the Knights Roundtable, presented by Orlando Health, the official medical team of the UCF Knights. Choose Orlando Health for excellence in healthcare with award-winning hospitals, clinics, and nearly 3,000 community physicians throughout Central Florida. Well, Game 2 for UCF finds the Knights traveling to Greenville, North Carolina for a matchup against the Pirates of East Carolina. It'll be their first game of the season. Of course, game number 2 for UCF. Kickoff is set for 12 noon as the Knights are on the road to take on ECU. Thanks for joining us. For Coach Josh Heupel, I'm Marc Daniels. We'll see you next week. Go Knights! Charge on.